He used to drink a lot up until I was 5. He had serious problems with alcohol, but when I tell this to people, they always go like they face changes, but what they don't understand is that my biggest, um, I guess, insights from my father came from the time he used to drink, because I remember a few scenes when he used to drink. He stopped when I was 5, and I remember him and his friend. They would drink vodka. Obviously, vodka is most popular alcohol back in Ukraine. Um, and they would drink vodka, and his friend would fall on the ground, start acting strange. My father would never do that. He was always like a stone. If he knew that he need to get back to his family, he'd grab his friend, uh, get him to his apartment, wherever it is. He'd come back. They would argue with my mother for a little bit. He would stay silent. He'd go to bed, wake up, and I'd never even thought that he was drunk ever. He was more of a just calm, you know. Even when his father, my grandpa, when he used to drink, he would, fell on the ground. Like people in Ukraine and in Russia, they drink differently than to how people drink in Western world. So yeah, my father was always an example for me of a he'd never I'm not even talking about beating my mother, the things like that never appeared. He was always very responsible. And at the age of 5, when I was 5, the doctor told him, look, you can keep it under control, but health wise, you're gonna die if you're gonna keep drinking like within 1 year. And you know what's funny? He stopped in one day. In one day, he was like he was alcoholic. He talked to the doctor. Then he's not an alcoholic. Same thing happened with cigarettes. I was about, I guess, 12 or 13. He used to smoke a lot, like 2 3 packs a day. And I remember he went out to a balcony on a balcony to smoke. He was having a cigarette. Then he thought, I don't want to do that anymore. He squashed the pack, throw it away, never smoked again. This is kind of a man my father is, and it was always an example for me. Um, yeah, I mean that's pretty much all I can say about my father.
Mm.
That he I guess put a lot of a foundation in my character. That's for sure.
Do you think you can look to his behavior with drinking or with smoking and understand why in his life or in his environment he went to those things?
It was very normal for a guy, for a man to smoke and to drink,
Mhm.
because my father he he grown up before the Soviet Union fell off, and then when I was born, it was 90s, and 90s in post-Soviet Union country. My mother with a degree, she used to sell some. I don't know how you call them in English. The basically it's dough and meat, some food. She used
Okay.
to sell it on the market, and my father would try to work where he can. So it's like financially, it was pretty bad, and I guess. But again, my father never talked to me about depression. I doubt he knows that word exists. Depression, as well as his father. um it was just a part of the culture. Everyone smokes and everyone drinks. That's how it is, until they die, or until the doctor tells him that you have a problem with this organ, you need to stop, and then maybe maybe they would stop. Maybe not. Maybe they just decide, okay, I have a 3 years more 3 more years. I'll go ahead and have fun, and then I'll die. That's basically.
Wow. Okay. So it's almost a collective cultural response. Could you see when you were growing up the change in his character, and are there any particular lessons that you can draw on from how his character changed maybe through letting go of those things?
No, no change. That's the beauty of my. Yeah, he just stopped. That's why no matter how bad I feel sometimes, when I remember myself of my father and of his decisions and how he reacted to the challenges, it was never like, oh, I need to do this. I need to find strength to perform. I need to find strength to quit alcohol or drink or cigarettes. I need to make more money. We never had those conversations, even though we became very close after I started working because I understood my father much more at this point. He's just a great example of what you now would call stoicism.